Well, there we go. That wasn't too painful this time, as I had the experience of doing the last one. They went up quite quickly, even quicker for you on time lapse, but that is a nice result for me anyway. So now I can get on with some more stuff up here. This is the final stretch to make the entire track meet up. The only problem with this is this end here is slightly higher than that end. I would say somewhere between 1 centimetre and 5 mil. So I'm just making that up. It's obviously going to just basically come down very slightly over this length here, which isn't the biggest deal. I'm going to run the train pretty much all the time that way, so that it runs downhill and it makes up the extra little bit over the whole entire track. Yeah, you probably will see it on my bed when I'm further back, because I'm sitting on it at the moment filming this, but I'm really happy to be finishing this off now, because it's been an ongoing thing and I finally got the shelves. And then the last little bit is trying to make sure some couple of flex bits make it work, because it's got to have clearance past these bits, and that was why I didn't make the tram. I didn't make any horns sticking out this way or that way. Drill them in, and the next bit will be to cut those two different corners each end to finish off. So I will see you after I've done all that. Actually, let's put you on time lapse, as I did the other end of the Mancave on time lapse and I seem to have mislaid the footage, so at least this way you'll see this end going in. Well, this took me some time. This was a real pain. I had to get this joint as close as I could to each other, keeping it level and keeping it so that the level would also work at each end for the bit of board that's going to go in each corner. So I had to pack out underneath here. I think you can just see a little bit of card sticking out. Well, one's fallen down a bit further down there. Now, to do these pieces of wood. This piece of plywood was £5 off Facebook Marketplace, and I do like a bit of a bargain on Facebook if it's local, which luckily it was. I picked this up just down the road. £5, can't complain. And as if by magic, I have my first corner cut and ready to slip into place. Now I have all 4 of these corners made. All that's needed now is a coat of paint. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. If only it was that quick. Bit windy as I'm filming this, but as you can see, I got lucky on Facebook Marketplace. So here I have 6 Bestadors, and they're in very good condition, even with the soft close openings. I think that's what they call them. Yeah, so 6 Bestadors, plain white, which is absolutely what I want in the matte finish, and they are going to be my baseboards for the Metropolis. So I'm going to get them in now, take off all this hardware, save them or sell them on, and yeah, get them down on the floor, start building really. exactly the layout I want. It will be the hard surface the modulars and buildings sit on. They're working out quite well. The trouble is, a few of them did have a few marks, and I'm just thinking of the future if I want to use them again. There's one or two that need to be cut. Luckily, it really fits absolutely spot on. That this middle board can go just on the edge here, so I can just take a notch out this corner and a notch out of there. And the only other possible cut is where those wires come down, which they have to come down there. Those wires and this part here, and possibly the sockets, I will have to make some sort of covering in Lego, or just put the buildings around it in a way that you can't see them. Unfortunately, I can't move them. It'd take a lot of money that I don't really need to spend, so I don't think it's really worthwhile to start getting an electrician in and changing it all. I'm just laying these out in the best possible order. There might be a little gap at the back, but that's not a big deal. As you can see, I do have to jump and skip across this hatch a few times, so I'm getting quite used to that. But yeah, I mean, I suppose there's about 5 to 10 centimetres each side. They fit really well. Again, a happy accident that has now turned into something I've actually gone out and looked for, these Besta doors, and when I found them for £20, I couldn't believe it. 6 of them. I've still got 2 more now because I had 1. So I've cut these bits of UPVC and I'm going to make a sort of bracket. I'm going to glue them against the wall just to hold them in there. Well, one will be on the wall, one will be half on the beam and half on the shelf, just to hold them in there. Played around with the idea of screwing brackets in, but it just wasn't as a nice job as just gluing these white bits that you can hardly see up in there. Perfect. I had it. It cost me no more money to do that. I've cut in this board so it goes back up against the wall, and now I have them all laid down. I'm basically there. It's ready for some Lego. I guess what I need to do now is explain to you what I'm going to be doing with this space a little bit more and show you some of the things I have ready for it. So without further ado, I'm coming. Okay, I think everything's in focus. Here we go, people. This is the start of the Metropolis up here in the Mancave. Where do I start? Oh yeah, by the way, I can start here. This is the first time I'm properly using my new DJI Pocket 3 Osmo. Make me feel like a real pro or something. It's useful. Yeah, it's a really good bit of kit, and I'm sure I'm going to be using it out and about more than it makes sense in here, but it is quite good for getting different camera angles. So when I need my phone, I've got my phone just to take little bits, and then I've got this camera which I'm talking to you now. And hopefully, without the wide angle lens on, it gets all the buildings in I've got in behind me. So that is probably where I should start. So this is my Metropolis area, as you probably saw earlier when I was putting the boards on. And it's lit up rather nicely with my little Death Star there and the green lights down the side. I will be ripping out those lights and putting in something, either a better brand or just maybe the rope lights, because they just stopped working within weeks. So although they're green at the moment, that's about the only colour they will sync with on each other. This one goes a few different colours and bulbs are gone, and this one goes green or blue, and that is it. Okay, so behind me we have some built sets. These are sets I've been storing away. I bought on Facebook Marketplace. I think all apart from that one, the Ninjago one and the new Tudor Corner, I bought on Facebook Marketplace. The idea is to mix themes, and when I say mix themes, not the minifigures. All the minifigures will be Star Wars, apart from the odd Easter egg here and there, if I feel the need. But generally, Star Wars is my thing, and that's what I want to do. I love working with Star Wars, but I find the canon a little bit restricting, and I like other sets. I like other themes. I've said this before in videos. I like the buildings. I like some of the crazy things they do without, how else do I mix it all together? So that was the whole idea of my channel, MixABrix, to mix the bricks. I've got the buildings behind me, some classic architectural buildings. Obviously this one, The Sanctorum is open, but it's a classic architectural set. It's only been half built in the past. I bought it off Facebook Marketplace for a very good price, so that made absolute sense. I think it was under £100, so I just had to grab that. Like I said, over half of it is still sealed. The Haunted House is a classic architectural building in my eyes. I don't know quite how I'm going to do that, but I'm going to make it fit in because I really, really wanted it. I love the look of it. I bought it right as it was retiring for a special price. So that made great sense. I can move around on this ladder a bit because it's not the most stable of things. Ooh. But eventually, hopefully I will get a wooden staircase if my friend comes through for me. What else have we got? Classic architectural. We've got the Harry Potter, the Ministry of Magic over there. The reason I bought that, I probably won't have too many Harry Potter sets, or will I? Yeah, so the Harry Potter one over there, the idea of that is they're very tall, thin buildings, and I thought they might slot, I mean, I'll change it all around and modify it, but they might fit into some little dark alleyway somewhere. Don't know. It was, again, at the end of its run, come from Very, and it was a very good price. Ding, ding. We got the corner garages here, 2 of them. I had to have 2. I will keep it in this configuration, but I will change how it looks somehow. Then we have the medieval style sets, which are the medieval blacksmith and the Hocus Pocus house. Part of the Dungeons and Dragons set has got like medieval style buildings, and that's also got a little bit of castle as well. So the idea is to mesh all those in and around the architectural buildings somehow. I'm not sure whether I will keep these styles of buildings together in one area or whether they will be split up throughout the Metropolis. The Ninjago I love. I love all 4, I think there's 4 of them. Yes, there is 4 of the Ninjago big buildings, and it makes a Metropolis city of its own, really. And I want to use it, but I just don't know whether it'll fit down here. I might end up putting it at the other end. But equally, I was thinking at the other end, I could put some Winter Village stuff. So, just not quite sure. Then we have the 2, what I consider little apartment-y builds. There will be a few, there's some little shops, and there's some, this one's called, I think it's just called City, I don't know. I don't think it's called anything else, but there's like apartment-y builds. And all over my Metropolis, I want little apartment builds where people live, just randomly all over the place. You know, they might have little stairways leading up. The idea is they can fill in little bits of space that there's nothing else that can really work in it. So it's a really compacted space. And I won't be staying down low. The idea is to come right up here. So I don't know exactly how I'm going to put things on top of each other or make supports and stack them, but yeah, it will flow as it flows. I want to build some landing pads. I want Star Wars ships, or yeah, I think Star Wars ships or cars that are modified into Star Wars style ships. And the idea is they will come in and land at various places in amongst the Metropolis. Alternatively, they might well land up there. So I've got this big beam that runs right through the middle, and I was thinking that it would be really cool if various different landing pads, I can't come too low because I'm going to bash my head all the time, but they could come off the sides and slightly down lower, and therefore I could fit in probably X-Wing style and interceptors, things like that. Or maybe modified cars that are now flying, because I don't think I want any roads down here. I want dingy, dark alleyways and little walkways. Maybe just enough space for people to walk and speeder bikes to whiz by. I kind of like the idea of it being a little bit lawless. I don't actually have a reason for this Metropolis being. Why are all these factions of Star Wars characters living together? I might need your help with that. If anybody's got any ideas of why clones would be living with aliens, and aliens living with stormtroopers, and stormtroopers living with Mandalorians, anything and everything will be in this Metropolis that is Star Wars. And I've just got to mix it all together and work out a storyline as I go along. And I think that's part of the fun of Lego, creating a story. I might not have the full answers, but I reckon there's somebody out there that will actually have a really good idea of why all these are living together, and I can just expand on it. So I guess that's the idea of a community, isn't it? There is one set that I require, I think in my own head, I need for this landscape. One must-have set, should I say. There's going to be more sets that join this over time. I didn't know I need the Tudor corner till it come out, and then I absolutely had to have it. But there is one large set that I need. No prizes for guessing, but if you could leave it down in the comments what your guess would be, that would be really good. I would like to see how many people get it right. As soon as somebody gets it right, I will let you know, and or I will put it in another video on the Metropolis in the future. So that really only leaves one more thing to do, and that is the Maul line tram needs to make its complete circuit around on MixABrix channel. So what I need to do first of all is clear a few boxes off the back rail. So I'll see you in 1 second. It whizzes round there beautifully. I was so impressed that I managed to make the corners work with those horns, because there are a couple of obstacles either end. I will cut in some footage of the other end as well, but yeah, it's absolutely flying round. And my idea with this is to fill up on different days I'm filming and putting out videos. I want different factions to be riding the tram or the Maul line anytime. The Maul line is what is currently occupying this line, but maybe I will make a Vader line or something else not Sith related. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this is progressing already. Very slow building I am, but I will get there eventually, and I think it will look quite cool. I am just sitting back admiring my own work now. Right, enough of that. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and if anyone's had a channel or got a channel, you know that is the thing to do. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you in a video very soon. Cheers one and all.